My biggest dream as a teenager was to be popular. As someone who was always pushed around and excluded, I simply just wanted to be seen. And guess what? That was the first time I got to experience the power of manifestation and hard work. I made it. I became popular. And it wasn't even hard because I enjoyed every small part of it. I literally was going out to meet people 3 times a day, even during school time. The really heartbreaking part though was everything after it. I lost over half of what I called friends, and now I'm at a point where I don't even feel the desire to go out and meet people on weekends. But let's rewind here and find out how this even happened. How do I become popular? A question many of us may have already Googled before, and the first time I came in contact with that question was when I read a TikTok slideshow on how to increase your likability. I got obsessed with that kind of content, and soon after I already bought my first book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book is fucking great. I hated reading, but that book changed everything because it not only gives you great advice on how to deal with people, but it makes you a much better person in general. Anyways, I quickly started implementing many strategies that I've always done wrong, and to be honest, I did find many friends. I approached several people and I was much more open to conversations. Everybody was feeling much more comfortable in my presence, and I quickly found myself at many parties and chill outs. Summer 2023 was, at that time, the best summer I ever had. I remember I wrote a diary and I always wrote down stuff like, I was hypersocial today, I had Riz, or this person talked to me. And looking back, it was something completely new to me. Things as simple as walking home with a classmate were making me incredibly happy. Due to me not having any standards though and wanting to be friends with my entire fucking city and beyond, I made the stupid mistake of trusting everybody and thinking that all my friends were actually genuine. I wasn't able to see who was an actual friend or fake. Another problem was that every time I woke up, I had like 8 open conversations on my phone. I was chatting and talking to other people the whole day, and at some point I noticed that that was a real issue. I felt so incredibly lonely once I was with myself. I've spent so much time with so many different people that I've forgotten how to be alone. I remember I came home once. I had like 3 unrelated meetings that day, and I even at school, but I ended up laying down on my floor, overthinking everything because I never felt lonelier in my life. Fast forward a few months and that lack of self-reflection started to evolve into a huge ego. An ego that makes you feel like you're the craziest motherfucker on this planet. Man, I was thinking so unrealistic about myself. I thought I knew everything. I also started getting interested in this whole get money fast niche. For example, I started and failed a TikTok creativity program, affiliate marketing, and I was part of a startup. I also had incredible game with girls. I wasn't able to hold a relationship because of my ego though. I thought I could say everything I wanted, and in general, I was just acting like a huge dick. I also started a brand called Patatours, and I made some good money off of it too, but I did one mistake. I forgot that people do not like it when you're doing better than them, especially if you're presenting it so openly. Patatours turned out to be my downfall. Not only were people not believing in my success, but they were actively fighting it. Some people started spreading really bad rumors about me, attacked my personal life, and started a brand whose only goal was to destroy mine. My stupid ass, of course, did not know how to deal with it. So that was officially the start of a series of bad events, and believe me, it gets so much worse. Remember that book I read, How to Win Friends and Influence People? Yeah, so every single person that read this book will probably flip out when I'm gonna say this. And I'm here in a place where nobody will hear me because it might get loud. Some friends of mine who read the title of the book started spreading the rumor that I was a master manipulator because I read manipulation books. Dude, it's a book about being a better person. I don't want to imagine the content you might have in your TikTok favorites, and you accuse me of manipulating you? Or some friends started saying that I was a Nazi and anti-feminist because I listened to a podcast about business. I never knew there was a huge controversy about that podcast. People also hated me for being a playboy because I simply had game. A lot of friends turned their back on me, and many people started creating the most stupid reasons to hate on me. At that time, I could have told you 10 different rumors that were spreading about me. I couldn't believe it at that time because it seemed like everybody just threw away the memories I've built with them, just simply because other people hated on me. I had a huge ego at the time, which made it so much more complicated to handle. Instead of ignoring it, I just gave it more fuel by trying to fight it. The funny thing is that many friends left not because they hated me, but because they were scared of the social consequences that came with being friends with me. They left because they didn't want drama, which I can understand but can't really process. My life was crumbling and I felt like shit. I tried to push away the pain with girls and more new friends. I had like 3 to 4 talking stages at once, and that led to me completely losing touch of my life and business. My brand went bankrupt. Many friends also left because of other incidents that occurred in summer. All I feel like saying there is that you should watch out which girls you date, and you have to expect that people will hate you when you date friends from friends. Also, a stupid mistake I made about 4 times: do not date girls who say they are good at manipulating. Trust me. But the interesting thing is, I wasn't able to fight the controversy. And in the times I did, I lost many loyal friends too, because I was focusing way too much on the negative. Like I said, people do not like it to be involved in drama. I also started to build up awful aggression issues. That's how I dealt with my emotions back then. They were actually so bad that I punched a locker in my school and broke my hand. My summer was ruined. The crazy thing though, after I punched the locker, everything was quiet. I never felt such inner peace ever before. Anyways, my aggressions got worse and vacation started. We went out of the town multiple times, and every single time I did not want to go back. I was scared to return to normal because of all the stress and drama I couldn't avoid. Because I wasn't the person to back down, a lot of people felt provoked by me and started harassing me. I'm talking like bullying, on or offline harassment, threatening me in front of my own house, provoking me to a point I would have killed them, attacking me, spreading more rumors about me, and so on. The funny thing though is that I wouldn't ever receive it that way. I never looked at myself thinking I was the victim. That just wasn't my mindset. Actually, that's probably the reason why it never stopped. My ego said I had to fight back, so I kinda did. And that's why I had anger issues. I was told that people were literally scared of me, and it was kind of valid. The issue is, that's probably the reason everything got worse. I was scared to go outside because I was avoiding conflict. I didn't want to get hurt or hurt somebody, and I was avoiding certain times, places, people, and any kind of romantic bond. I got so bad trust issues that I cut off anybody who could have backstabbed me. I also started reviving this YouTube channel, and I was able to stay anonymous until one point where my entire city found out. But if you're interested in how exactly I felt when my entire city found my YouTube channel, just watch my vlogs and you will be able to see the pain I went through when everybody found out. I also went partying a lot, and every time I took weed, nicotine, or alcohol, I would fall into a horrible depression. Since that point, I am trying to avoid conflict and ignore everybody who's trying to hurt me. But it's pretty hard when people actively are trying to harass you and your environment. It became so bad that the police, my school, and so on were involved because it was harming my fucking family. I mean, I've built up the strength to deal with that kind of shit, but harassing my friends and family is too much. I couldn't enjoy the holidays, so something had to change. New Year's Eve, the time where everybody looks back on the great previous year and celebrates a new and better one to come. Not me though. In 2024, everything went wrong, and it became my personal canon event. My New Year's resolution was packed with stuff, and because 2024 was so fucked up, I knew I would take them serious. It's kind of sad though what I wrote down there. For example, getting rid of all hatred, finding peace and being more chill, or treating people with kindness, being open, giving compliments, and having no social anxiety. I also said I wouldn't focus on women anymore. A completely new me. I swore to myself that everything had to change. And I started even looking at the whole situation a bit more positively. I mean, yeah, I was scared to go outside, I didn't want to meet new people, and I was paranoid about literally everything. But to be honest, that is the best motivation and reason for me to keep grinding towards my goal. I mean, just imagine you'd be in my situation where the only two options are to fall into a horrible depression and take drugs, or work your fucking ass off to get out of this shithole. I can't respect people who do the first option. I mean, yeah, of course I understand it, but it's just embarrassing. I would have easily fallen into that bubble, but luckily I have a great environment and a really good mindset. I started to ignore the people who were harming me, always with the mindset that they don't have any fucking future. I literally cringe when I see people drinking or partying because there's no fucking reason for them to do that. I mean, why would you party or chill when you didn't even manage to do anything anyways? It's just a time waste. At this point though, I managed to get over it. I still, of course, avoid contact with losers like that, but I'm not scared that much anymore. To be honest, they already harmed me enough. Now I have a vision I'm working towards every single day. I finally set priorities, and the fact that so many people hurt me and I had to isolate makes it so much easier to lock in. I was forced to become quiet, and now where I see the value behind it, I choose it actively. Instead of wasting my time with parties or girls, I spend the whole night working and learning. I literally get invited to several different events, but 80% of the time, I don't even feel the urge to fucking go, because I know that when I work, I will be able to do much crazier shit later. So if you can relate to anything I have said here, please take my story as an example that there is hope. All you have to do is find out what you deeply want in life, save that vision, and work your fucking ass off. Do not numb yourself with drugs or any other activities, even if it's very appealing. It's just not anything that helps, but rather damages you in the long term. And if you don't have any idea how to change it because all your friends do it, please promise me to change your environment. You don't actually want to be friends with them because they are a waste of your precious time and energy. I had to learn the hard way that a small but inspiring circle is something you should be aiming for. Go lock in and make sure that the activities you participate in either have a benefit to you or others, or create memories that are worth looking back at. And please promise me that you won't let people talk you down. I really wanted to share this story with you guys because I hope that somebody can relate to it and maybe get inspired to do the right thing. And with that, please consider liking and subscribing, and see you soon. Bye.